When you first saw the bones, what was your initial reaction?
I was first told about it and was quite surprised and interested, but I visited twice early on during the excavations, and when you first see some of the bones being dug up, just a few skulls showing, like in the picture I showed you, you think, wow, that's interesting. I went back again when they were all clear, like in that picture I showed you, with all the bodies showing, and again you think, wow, this is interesting, this is incredible really. And then you look at it and your reaction changes. Mine did, as of other people when they've seen it, because you start looking and thinking, I can see what's going on here, something utterly horrendous.
How did you discover that they were Viking bones and not something else?
There's a technique called isotope analysis, and that was undertaken on some of the teeth of the bones at a laboratory in Nottingham. And that looks at certain compounds within the bone, particularly carbon, nitrogen, oxygen and strontium, and that can tell you an awful lot about the diet and the drinking water of the people that you're looking at, and therefore by comparison you can work out where they were coming from, and they're clearly not local, and the best matches by far are that these people came from a variety of locations in Scandinavia.
How did you know that they're buried without clothes?
Because though most clothes will rot in the type of soil in which they were found, what you would expect to find surviving is the metalwork that goes with that clothing. Contemporary clothing was normally held together with pins, brooches and so forth, and if they had been clothed you would have expected that some of those would have been found.
How long did it take you to excavate the whole area?
It wasn't actually me, it was a company called Oxford Archaeology who were doing the work, but I think once the pit was first found it took 2 months, maybe 2.5 months to fully record it and to excavate it properly.
Why were they buried all together, and why 54 of them altogether?
Very good question. That's one of many things in this that is open-ended. There's a certain amount of information you can get from the archaeological evidence, and there's a lot more that you can't, some of which you can guess, some of which we will never really know. But you assume they were all executed together because they were captured as a group. And one possibility, number 54, is that that's about the number of people you would have on a ship. So if a Viking ship was washed up, say on the coast down here, and they were captured by the locals, perhaps because they were half drowned when they got up on shore, that could be why there were so many, that particular number. But equally, they could be the survivors of a battle, and they could have been a group of 200 or 300, for instance, and they're just the ones who survived, who were then taken away to be executed.
How deep were these bones buried underground?
They were in a pit, and within that pit they were about 30 or 40 centimetres, and above that pit there was probably maybe say 40 centimetres roughly of earth as well, so nearly a metre deep.
Okay, thank you.